So guys, we are discussing about anaerobic myocystis, and we told that it's the most serious with healthy muscles involvement and abundant production of toxins. In anaerobic cellulitis, there is only involvement of facial planes and minimum toxic production, but in this abundant toxic production. So the bacteria requires favorable conditions for multiplication, and one of them is low oxygen tension. So this low oxygen tension is achieved by crossing of the tissues, tearing of arteries during heavy wounds, severe wounds, and also by implanted bullets, fragments of cells. Okay, and this tearing of arteries, crossing of the tissues leads to anoxia to the muscles. The other factor is lecithinase. These lecithinases damage the cell wall, causing extravasation. They damage cell wall, and one thing I forgot to write over there, they damage the cell wall and also increase permeability. You can include this point in the box. When they damage the cell wall and also increase the permeability, then there is a chance of extravasation after increasing the permeability. So I missed this point, please mention. Damage cell wall and increase permeability, which causes extravasation. This extravasation increases the pressure on the capillaries, and which will block the blood supply, and blocking of the blood supply will further cause anoxia to the muscles, which is also again a favorable condition. This is for the growth of bacteria. Then this damage to the cell wall are causing extravasation. Then the extravasated myoglobin and hemoglobin and hemoglobin are not able to carry oxygen. If they are not able to carry oxygen, the oxygen is not supplied to the tissues. Then aerobic respiration halts and tissues undergo after when there is no oxygen supply, aerobic respiration halts and the tissues undergo anaerobic respiration. And we know during anaerobic respiration there is lactic acid production, and which in exercise is also known as lactic acidosis. So this lactic acid production is decreasing the pH, and decrease in pH and other chemical changes contribute towards the breakdown. They cause the breakdown of the proteins, amino acids and carbohydrates, which acts as a nutrient factor for the bacteria. The breakdown of protein, carbohydrates and the amino acids produce favorable conditions for the proliferation of the bacteria. Now the bacteria can proliferate and spread to the next site. That's why it is known as rapidly spreading. Okay, so after this we have some other points to discuss on anaerobic myocystis, and those includes hemolytic anemia and hemoglobinuria. Hemoglobinuria and hemolytic anemia are caused due to lysis of the RBC, and this lysis is due to alpha toxin. We discussed earlier about discussing our toxins that alpha toxin is lethal, dermonecrotic and hemolytic. So hemolytic breaking the red blood cell, and it is causing hemolytic anemia and hemoglobinuria. Okay, and further the incubation period may be as short as 7 days or may be as long as 6 weeks after wounding, and the disease progresses with increase in pain, tenderness and release of watery substances from the wound, watery fluid from the wound, and the accumulation of the gas in the tissues make the tissues crepitant. Okay, the accumulation of the gas, and organ failure, shock and organ failure may also be result. And in case of untreated patients, in untreated cases, there is profound toxemia. profound toxemia and weakness. There is profound toxemia and weakness, and the death of the patients occurs due to circulatory failure. So we'll discuss about this, we'll write these points in the next video. Hope you understood the table, the chart I mean to say, and try to understand. Once go through your book, you'll be able to understand it nicely. Now we'll see the next video. We'll write the things we just discussed now.